Counter this time. Hicks with a great cut.
Get by, maybe.
The transfer, Mayan Hicks, comes up with a huge play all the way down to the 15-yard line.
Excellent job by the offensive line, and the back waited his time running up to the line of scrimmage to go through that hole. He made a huge run here, sets Northwestern State up with great field position to open this ball game. Second play of the ball game, counter trap here. Really, he takes a nice cut inside of the linebackers, Tamarian Edwards, and kind of made him look silly. Did not make that tackle. Comes up with a big gain for the Demons.
Huge play to start things off, followed by a big pass and a touchdown.
Well, there's a little bit of energy in this stadium, and I felt it yesterday. I had a chance to talk to this team a little bit after practice, after watching them in their walkthrough, and I could see in their eyes, Pat, there's nobody there in the secondary for Alcorn. Definitely a big play and a well schemed by the Demons.
The extra point is blocked and will be recovered. So it'll end up being just 6 points for Northwestern State. But for a team, Gary, that averaged just 12 a game last year and were shut out multiple times, getting on the scoreboard quickly certainly has to feel good.
You know, it really does. There's a lot of things that went right on that play and in that series. And when you look at Northwestern State, they needed something to make this team feel good. Let's take another look at this PAT here as this kick. Is it going to be kicked low? Oh, it's just got somebody went right through there. I couldn't see his number. Let's see what he's 11. Number 11. That's Jaquez Dew. He got through there. The linebacker came through on the left side, on the right side of the PAT block, kicking team.
Well, regardless, it is a fast start for Northwestern State, exactly what Blaine McCorkle ordered. By the way, Alcorn won the toss, elected to defer, and really the worst-case scenario, Gary, you give the other team the ball first, and they go down and score.
Yeah. So there is no wind out there whatsoever. There is, as Patrick talked about, a lot of humidity in the air, 75% humidity at kickoff here. It's a hot night here in Natchitoches. Potential storms in the area. We're not going to really talk about those. Hopefully they stay away, but should be a good night for football.
Cooper Evans, the left footer, a guy that the Demons are very excited about with a big leg. We'll kick this one away. Goes with the short kick. Between two players, ball is bobbled and finally snagged. So you had multiple guys at the bottom of that pile. Ultimately coming up with it was Christopher Wally, the defensive lineman.
He called a fair catch there. Watch on the right side of the screen. He kicks his ball a little short. Watch his hand go up there. He waves his hand across. Anyway, those guys just got to pull it together, and they finally got on top of it. So now we'll see the Braves jump on offense here. First look at their offense. And
will be a transfer quarterback who is taking the first snaps. Jalen Tolbert, Fort Lauderdale, Florida native, came to Alcorn from Howard, the Bison.
Coach Thomas talked to us about him, and he said that he's got some talent. He's definitely got a pretty good live arm. He can run. He's athletic, and he can play. And most importantly, he talked about his leadership and what he's done coming in there, taking over the command of this offense. It's been impressive.
Tolbert and Trey Lawrence will both 9 on the first play. The graduate student from Natchez, Mississippi, coming off of over 800 yards rushing last season.
Well, when you look at him here in this stadium, he's a guy that I think looks a lot like a former teammate of mine long time ago, Joe Delaney. Same body type, same size.
Is caught, but not much there for Omarion Blakes. Matter of fact, he'll get maybe a foot, and it'll bring up a third down and short for a team last year that converted just under 35% of their third downs.
Well, here's a chance. Defensive coordinator Matt Connor says, hey, we have to win on third down, get off the field. Defense's job is this. We have to stop the offense. Make a big stand here. Things going right offensively and possibly defensively here in the first series of 2025 for the Demons.
They'll go with a heavy package here. No one out wide. The inverted wishbone. Multiple big bodies in the backfield and enough for the first down. Grinding ahead for it. And Gary, anytime you've got a fullback wearing a 9 for the first number, that's usually a good thing for your tailback.
Yeah, big bodies going through the hole there. That looked like a tower formation. I think it's, you look like a bell tower, and you got the top of that tower coming down there. Reggie Davis getting the grab there, leading the charge, getting the first down for Alcorn.
So back to a more traditional pistol set. This is what we were expecting. 3 wide. Watch on the preseason HBCU Player of the Year watch list.
Yeah, he is that talented. There's no doubt about that. But the talent that they have to have and a little bit of an improvement they want is in the offensive line. They've got a little bit of experience there, but not a lot. So they need to be able to grow offensively. And what that's going to do is going to be able to open up this whole offensive system that the Braves try to put out there. And that offensive line has to take charge.
So second and long. This time empty formation. Blitz comes in the pocket. Deep throw, man there, and off the fingertips, incomplete. That was a house call the entire way for Reggie Davis.
Well, Jalen Tolbert did a nice job there in the pocket. He threw the ball out there. He took a shot after that. Watch at the top of your screen. We're going to have pressure right on the quarterback. He gets popped. That ball is almost caught there for a touchdown. Wow, just a little bit outside of his reach. Brings up a big 3rd and 10 here for Alcorn to continue this drive.
Alcorn converted a 3rd and
Ty Moore does his best dance in the end zone with that touchdown. But what a way to start this football game for Northwestern State.
Well, Jason Pugh, I will say this, Jason, it's for Northwestern State, a special teams coordinator, something they have not had for a couple of years.
Yeah, Tyson Walkenheim, one of those new faces on McCorkle's coaching staff, and he didn't have anything to do with that snap, but you could tell different pressures, different looks may have thrown off the cadence there for Alcorn State. Obviously, the weather, it's starting to come down a little bit heavier. It's been sprinkling most of this first quarter, but it's coming down a little heavier. But with Walkenheim, again, Blaine McCorkle talked about the attention to detail. Adding those pieces on his coaching staff really paid off, and it showed up there.
You can see everyone heading for cover.
Yeah, that's a good little look there. You got some fans taking cover. But what a start to this ball game. You know, when things go wrong for a football team, as we've seen over the last couple of seasons for Northwestern State, they really pile on.
Mm-hmm.
And when they go well, that's what you're gonna get. So I think the hard work, the dedication these guys have put in has turned into capitalizing on opportunities, which Northwestern State has here in this first quarter.
And some of that is also mentality, right? It feels like it's maybe a bit of a tougher Northwestern State team this year. Nice little move, trying to cut it back, dancing and finally going down right at the 20-yard line. But, Gary, there's something to be said. You know, one of the things Blaine McCorkle talked about a lot for this Northwestern State team is being more mentally tough and having that mentality.
And that's part of growing up as a football player and coming together as a football team. When everyone has that same tenacity upstairs, you know, when you're trying to think and you know you're going to be tough and tough mentally, that's not an easy thing to overcome. And, you know, both of these coaches have talked to us about getting the culture right on their football team. Coach McCorkle has had in his second season at it, and you're seeing the same thing with Coach Thomas for Alcorn State. And, you know, culture is a real thing. It's going to bring these guys together or they're going to fall apart.
Stoppage of play as Colby Cage has to be helped off the field. Cage, the transfer from Southern Miss, someone that the Demons have been very excited to get out on the field, and he will find his way off to the sideline. There you see him in the back with Northwestern State athletic trainer Cal Pageloma.
So we still see Tolbert here on the field, the third series here for Alcorn.
This time the poorest field position for the Braves. Now we'll march it off. And put it back. Start at the 21-yard line. Demons, the only bad spot, it seems, right now for Northwestern, they just haven't gotten a lot of pressure. That time, Cam George will take care of that, and that will bring us to the end of the half. So fireworks early, lightning in the middle.
Going to be a short, abbreviated halftime.
Yeah, we only got an 8-minute halftime, so don't go far. We'll be back before you know it. Northwestern State, though, with a 13-0 lead, a touchdown on their opening drive, converted a fumble recovery on a bad snap on a punt. Alcorn has moved the ball a couple of times after the lightning delay, but thrown 2 interceptions in the end zone so far. And that's the story of this one. Again, an abbreviated half. So don't go anywhere. We won't be gone long. We'll be back and getting you ready for the start of the second half of action. We're at halftime here in Natchitoches Turpin Stadium. The
any points on it with the takeaways that we've seen in the ball game.
Yeah, 3 turnovers so far forced by the Demons. 2 in the end zone. 1 was a punt that went over a snap that went over the head of the punter. Just to sort of typify that, Gary, the 2 longest drives of the ball game for Alcorn happened when the Northwestern State Demons and Alcorn resumed from the weather delay. A 37-yard drive with the tip pick in the end zone, a 55-yard drive with the interception in the end zone by Caden Mackey. And Alcorn had really gotten it moving, but ultimately turnovers doing them in.
Yeah, turnovers are definitely key in football games and can give you the momentum that you need and really undo an offense. That's really what you want to take care of the football at all costs. So that's what coaches preach, and I'm sure that Cedric is telling his football team, take care of the football. We're going to be okay in this game. We just got to do what we do. We saw a little bit of it. They run the football with power. They like to run with speed. They've got athletes out there that can manage those things. And I think the quarterback has done a good job of throwing the football, and he's done pretty well. He's overthrown a few guys early in this ball game, but he's got settled down there. So Jalen Tolbert, I expect him to have a pretty good second half coming back.
Jason Pugh's had an opportunity to catch up with both head coaches heading into and out of the locker room. Jason, what are the adjustments?
Alcorn not fail. Don't turn the ball over. They turned it over twice in the end zone. 2 great plays by Antonio Hall and then by Caden Mackey, the end zone interceptions. Obviously, the turnover on the punt that led to a touchdown. Cedric Thomas said it was first game jitters and turnovers. They eliminate that. You saw what they did between the 20s. It's finishing in the red zone. And now if you look toward Northwestern State, you regain that momentum you had in the first half. Blaine McCorkle said they handled the weather delay great. That was his words. And then it's 3rd and long on both sides. They've got to stay out of 3rd and long on offense, and they have got to find a way to stop Alcorn on 3rd and long. They've given them a 3rd and 20 and a 3rd and 18 with explosive plays, and you cannot do that and expect to hang on to a lead.
Absolutely not. Alcorn won the toss and deferred. So they will start the second half with the football from the 10-yard line. Big hit, all kind of flags.
Yeah, there's a block in the back, yeah, exactly right there on the 13, 14-yard line. So every official in the building saw that one.
And Caden Mackey, who has been all over the field, the true sophomore.
And watch at the left hash right there. Number 33 is going to be the one being blocked in the back right there. Bingo.
First down.
That was Dylan Kroll, the linebacker, guilty of the block in the back. And Caden Mackey with the big hit to ultimately knock things back. And Jason, I do want to bring you back in here for just a moment. Caden Mackey's an interesting story. Blaine McCorkle has an entire dry erase board last year with all of the freshmen that he wanted to try to redshirt. Caden Mackey was one he was not allowed to.
Yeah, and he was very, very not upset. And he just was kind of disappointed he couldn't do that. But you've seen the type of player Caden Mackey is. Even with them bringing in the likes of Colby Cage, Jakarian Lathan, those 2 veteran transfers, it was to allow Caden Mackey to continue to develop. And the way he's played today has shown the steps he's taken. Those 8 games as a true freshman really helped him grow up. He's become more of a leader. He's become more of a vocal presence in that secondary. And when you make plays like he did toward the end of the first half and then on that kick return, it's easy to get guys behind you.
Up the middle, Jaquez Dew. Reading that one perfectly, Gary. Both linebackers in the middle of this 4-2-5 defense were waiting on the quarterback run.
Yeah, Edwards there, obviously their middle linebacker, and he is an exceptional. Jaquez Dew, he is a guy who's been around the football all game, and it's he's making play after play. So when you have those 2 lined up in there, you've got a good backfield, so to speak, behind that defensive front.
The Alcorn defense has definitely been up to the task. After that first drive, Demons again running it, and again, nothing there. Mayan Hicks. Ball came out late. Alcorn says they have it. No official word yet. Still no official word. Now that comes the fumble recovery by Alcorn, and suddenly things have changed on a dime here late in the third quarter.
Well, I'm thinking that Coach McCorkle is probably going to say his progress was stopped, and then they just pulled this ball out. But nonetheless, we'll take a look at the replay here, and at the end of it, yeah, that's probably a pretty good call. The ball comes out late, or is he down before, his leg down before that ball comes out? That's something the replay can look at. When does he go down as he still has the football?
Yeah, that's going to be tough to tell. He was down, but you got to be able to see when the ball was moving.
I think that high end zone angle would be our best look at that replay of that.
They're holding it as we're now going to go ahead and take a look at it.
Yeah, you're going to take a look at this because he's in contact there, and his lower body may be down, and then they pull the ball down as he's somewhat parallel to the ground. He doesn't fall to the ground before the ball comes out, but his lower body, I believe, is down.
And we will see if we can find a good angle. Again, there's a lot of bodies in there, which is part of the issue with being able to locate when the legs are down and when the ball is coming out. Knee is down, and then the ball's out. I think this may be overturned.
Exactly right. I think we'll think.
Now, here's the real question, Gary. Is there enough? Can you see definitively that he still had control of the ball when the knee went down? I think that's going to be the question.
I think that there is enough here. Knee down, they pull it out.
I think that's going to be the issue is can you see that he still has the ball when the knee goes down in order to say that is definitively down before the ball came out? And the umpire is not helping matters here.
So 1, 2, 3, he is down.
Is the ball out yet?
No, there's no ball out.
And he has it on his waist. He's down there. The umpire's blocking it.
He's not. He's about to pull the ball out here, and it's not happening. But the ball, he's down half a step, and now he pulls up and out, and the ball comes out. So I think that undoubtedly he is down.
I mean, I think he is down. I'm not sure the video evidence is there to overturn the call. That's what I'm interested to see is if they can go ahead and determine that he still had the ball when the knee hit. We think he did, and I think he did.
I got a barbecue sandwich at Sweeties against you.
No.
I'm 100% against that. Let's go.
Okay, I think he was indeed down. I don't think they'll overturn the call.
I think they will overturn the call.
All right, there we go.
You want the barbecue sandwich?
No, sure, that's fine.
Okay, let's do it.
Who's never going to turn down a barbecue sandwich? Are you kidding me?
You got to win this bet, though.
I just think there was too many things obscuring, especially the umpire right there, obscuring that look that would allow you to see definitively that he had the ball. I think also if they had called that down by contact, I don't think they would have overturned it.
Knees down, and the ball is not out.
The problem is you can't see the ball.
Well, they can paste these two together.
Sure.
They can find the other look, and they know where these guys are at. So
first down.
Enjoy my enjoy giving me my barbecue sandwich, sir. Again, they didn't confirm it, which means they know for certain that the video evidence was there. I just think they didn't have enough to overturn it. I do believe he was down. So we'll enjoy a quality Sweeties barbecue sandwich here before too long.
All right, Alcorn's that got everything rolling for them. They're playing well here offensively against this three-down lineman front that Northwestern State has. It gives them an opportunity to operate really well.
Shown by Reggie Davis. Pick up 7 or 8. And everything turning Alcorn's way after that interception return for touchdown.
Kind of changes
the fumble.
Yeah, that changes the book a little bit on Reggie Davis. That was a little more of a misdirection run there for him. Instead of a downhill run, power running back, he's showing he's got some quicks back there.
The Chattanooga transfer. Gets it again, breaks a tackle, flag down in the middle of the field. Helmet is off, which leads you to believe this might be hands to the face, as the big man Javian Council inside lost his helmet. That usually means someone took his helmet off.
55. Offense. 15-yard penalty from previous spot. Repeat the down.
Yeah, you can see see him get the hands up there on the face and knock the helmet off. Council can remain in if he wants to, but they will pull him out for a different rush package.
Well, that's the difference I talked about at Northwestern State defensively. You got Council in there. You got Hickey who's popped in there right now for a play. Tyler Lewis also inside in the middle. So those three guys roll through that nose tackle spot. And if they want to put a 4 down front, which they're in here now, they can actually bring in 2 of those big guys, and they can slide one of the defensive ends around. So either way, they've got opportunity here to change things up.
That was the 10th penalty of the ball game for Alcorn. We're not even in the fourth quarter yet. Going to look deep again. This time looks on target, and it is incomplete. late recovery by Antonio Hall, but it sure looked like that was a touchdown to Tyron Warren.
That was well played, though. He read the receiver as he's there, and as the ball's coming down, he puts his right arm right underneath the football, under his rib cage, and knocks that ball away. Watch Antonio Hall's right arm right there, right to the numbers. He gets the clue of where his hands go. That's the defensive back trick. They get a little clue of where the hands go, fight up through it, and pull out and strip, and did exactly that.
And now perhaps the worst down and distance that Northwestern State defense could be in right now, 3rd and 19. They've given up 3rd and 20 and 3rd and 22.
This is on the plus side of the field, too, here. So
this time they bring pressure. That one's going to be almost intercepted by Fernando Washington.
Wow.
And he might have turned that into 6.
Well,
that time, though, Gary, they didn't rush 3.
That's going to haunt him for a long time.
Yeah,
having that ball tossed up into you, it's just like a little toss. Here you go. Just there you are. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Looks like Alcorn will potentially elect to try a long field goal here. This will be Grandon Wilcox, the senior from Ocala, Florida.
Now, I think he told us that he's,
Yeah, he said he's got some thump.
Yeah, big power here. So don't be surprised if he makes this now. This is 52 yards, 51 and a half yards. Or there by this Northwestern State offense.
Now the question for Blaine McCorkle and his crew is, can you pay it off with points and settle things in a little bit after 10 in a row scored by the Braves? Burrell gets it. Take it down inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. And let's go down to Jason Pugh for a second, because this is something that Blaine McCorkle has preached, and that is toughness. And he feels like, Jason, this is a much more mentally tough team than he had last year.
Yeah, Patrick, the 5-star culture, one of those points that Blaine McCorkle talked about. As a matter of fact, it was his last night of 9 nights in camp where they had a theme. Toughness was the theme. They talked about toughness being anything from being brave, from standing up to making a stand for something, just standing on what you believe in. And right now, those 5 guys that Gary just talked about across that line are starting to kind of come together, push that pile, and it's been a lot of tough running and tough yards inside from Colby Burrell and Zay Davis. And obviously Abram Johnson, and there's a big flag right there.
And Burrell gets tossed down late. Flags come flying. Burrell is not getting up. That will be a half the distance to the goal, and I believe an automatic first down.
Yeah, that is an automatic first down. A very undisciplined play there by Alcorn State defensively, throwing a player to the ground and going to be right in front of the officials, and that's a flag every time.
First play of the game.
Yeah, he's trying to collect himself there, and I think that he's going to be okay. That's not just get him to the sideline.
Yeah, when you're fighting with the trainer, that usually means you feel okay and you want to get back out there. But Cal Pagiloma's job is to make sure that you're healthy before he lets you get back out there. Take another look, and again, they had him stopped right about the 3-yard line, and then very unnecessary at the end by Timothy Jasper to throw Colby Burrell to the ground. And Colby Burrell, a guy who's dealt with his share of injuries throughout the course of his entire career. You can see head athletic trainer Cal Pagiloma just wants to make sure he gets checked out.
Yeah, just take a little breather. I think he's going to be okay. That doesn't seem like he's getting too much.
One of the stories in this game, Gary, is penalties. Demons were very disciplined last year in penalties. Alcorn was not. So far, 11 penalties for the Braves, just 5 for the Demons. Heavy jumbo package, counter play to the left side. Dragging for the end zone, in for the touchdown, Mayan Hicks. The transfer scores his first touchdown as a Demon.
Well, I like the lighting effects here at Turpin Stadium as they kind of flash all of the standard lights here. And you take a look here is getting Mayan Hicks in the end zone for that touchdown.
How about Ibarra with the pancake block?
Look at him. He's getting it good. 55 coming up huge there on that play.
Now was his knee down before he went in the end zone?
It very well may have been. It depends on the look. I'm not sure how they're going to see this.
A couple of things to keep in mind. The replay folks, the Spideo replay folks have a goal line camera. Now, we don't have access to that goal line camera. Hopefully, we hope to get it at some point. But that goal line camera will show. See if his knee goes down before he crosses the plane. There.
I think it's a touchdown.
I think he's a touchdown.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I think it's a touchdown.
I think his right knee is down, actually.
But keep in mind, they do have a goal line camera.
Either way,
the thing is, he didn't stretch the ball, right? If he stretches the ball, that's an easy touchdown. But he didn't stretch the ball. So the question is, where's the ball in his left hand? We can't see it from this angle.
Yeah, when the knee touches the ground.
Right. When the knee touches, where is the ball? So that is what we are waiting to see. So it looks like, again, what we can't see on that goal line camera is where the ball is relative when the knee goes down.
Yeah, they may be taking this one back.
That could be. It's
barbecue sandwich?
No. No, I already have why would I risk a barbecue sandwich when I already have one? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I got to make up. I'm trying to get
just be glad. You could have said all you can eat barbecue and I would have bankrupted you. All of that NFL pension gone.
I think that they're going to have this is going to be overturned on the touchdown.
After here, the field the half-yard line.
There you go.
Yeah, again, I think and look, coaches are of two minds when it comes to stretching the football. A lot of them will tell you don't, right? Don't put the ball in harm's way. Don't put the ball out there. If he stretches the ball out, that's a touchdown. Now, the one bit of good news for Blaine McCorkle is
it's third down.
Well, it's second down now.
Right,
because it was the first down after the penalty, but the clock should start running.
Exactly.
So he could run another 25 seconds if he wanted.
And I would think that you should tell your quarterback inside out. Demons are playing little inspired football here. I think they smell something here. Jakarian Lathan there, that nickelback making a huge play.
Another injury for Northwestern State. That's Lathan who just made that play. Someone this team is very high on. The Texas State transfer. Played a year at Texas State. Also played at Trinity Valley Community College. And
a little stinger there, hopefully.
Yeah,
get him going again.
Little left shoulder issue. So now.
Third and long here now. 3rd and 8 here for Alcorn State. What are they going to do here? They're going to roll the quarterback. They're going to keep him in the pocket. He's got the ability to make some things happen with his feet, but he's thrown the ball exceptionally well here tonight. And
be interested to see if the Demons try to heat him up again, and they are.
Going to be
escapes the pressure. Could have run for it. Instead, tries to throw for it, and incomplete over the head of Tyron Warren. And we talked about Jalen Tolbert's not a guy who looks to run.
Well, really surprising there that he comes around and that ball just kind of sailed on him. He hasn't had that happen to him tonight. I thought there was a little bit of an offsides penalty on Northwestern State. The right defensive end got in the neutral zone. Looked like a little bit early for me. And
well, the penalty was not called, and Northwestern State would appear defensively to get a 3 and out. And again, you wonder if Tolbert pulls that and takes off. He has a first down and probably a bit more than that. But he is a guy who is scrambling to try to pass. It's a good driving kick. Buisson calls for the fair catch and makes it back to the 28-yard line. Terrific punt there by Demetrian Duval. But Northwestern State has the ball back fresh off of a 6-minute touchdown drive. They would take a 6-minute drive right now. Beautiful crossing pattern.
Really, right.
Caught for a first down. Damian Jones right at a 16-yard gain.
They've got to be comfortable doing this. Get the ball, move it down the field here. You want to, you're down a couple of scores. You can put them up there in a hurry, but don't want to put the ball in harm's way.
Throw the quick out, and that goes nowhere. Jakarian Lathan, who came off the field earlier with what we thought might have been a stinger, he's immediately up there to make the tackle for loss.
Well defended by Northwestern State. That might be trying to set up a second throw there, but I didn't see anybody trying to release or go down the field. Get lined up here correctly in the secondary for Northwestern.
Under 3 minutes. This Northwestern State team,
they've got 2 timeouts. Why are they not stopping the clock here?
This Northwestern State team last won a game. They were playing for a potential Southland Conference championship in 2022. Their last 2 games, they lost on the road at Southeastern Louisiana and lost at home to Incarnate Word. And actually, the trophy presentation was here at Turpin Stadium for Incarnate Word in that 22 season. For those that have followed the Demons, the 23 season beset by tragedy with the death of a player. That season cut short after 6 games. The Demons were 0-6 that year. And then last year, under first-year head coach Blaine McCorkle, the youngest team in America, they cleaned house and brought in a bevy of freshmen. That team went 0-12. So Northwestern State, the final 2 games of 22, all 6 games in 23 and 12 games in 24, currently a 20-game losing streak for this Northwestern State squad.
Well, there's going to be a lot of joy here if this happens to go the way of the Demons here with these last 2 minutes and 27 seconds. It's been a long time coming here at Northwestern State.
Still have some things left to accomplish, and for a team that hasn't won in 3 years, Gary, the last 2 minutes are probably the hardest 2 minutes.
Yeah, they really are here. You got 2 minutes and 20 seconds or so. Oh, you've got running into the kicker against them, and that's going to be a penalty for a first down.
Well, if it's running, it'll be 5 yards. If it's roughing, then it is a first down. The flag was back at the spot where the punt was sent away. Evans has been handling the punting. Got the kicking leg. So the plant leg is the 15-yarder. The kicking leg is the 5-yarder, from what I understand.
I think the Blaine McCorkle may take the ball inside the 10-yard line.
You could also go half the distance from there, I'd imagine. Actually, he just said field goal. So they may take the 5 yards and attempt a field goal here.
Number 8, 5 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, 4th down.
So they're going to try a long field goal. They have a couple of guys that they have brought in that they feel comfortable with. Cooper Evans, who's punting and kicking off, has the bigger leg. So they put the ball inside the 35-yard line. The hold will be at the 41, so this will be a 51-yard attempt.
He's a lefty, too.
For Cooper Evans. The left footer got a big leg. Yeah, the flag is still out at midfield. You can see right there above the 10 on your score bug. The penalty flag is still there, and I think our head referee just realized it. He's going to go grab his penalty flag.
Feel a little naked without that in your pocket.
Well, there have been 20 penalties called in this game, Gary, so might as well just throw it, leave it out there. So a 51-yard attempt here to try to make this a 13-point game.
Got a 151-yard.
And the kick is no good.
It's okay. Decent field position here, I think, though, for Alcorn State.
Alcorn will get some decent field position out of this.
So they're going to have to get a couple scores on the board here pretty quickly. They've got 2 timeouts left here in 2 minutes and 18 seconds. So a little work to do here. They got to work the field. They got to get out of bounds. They've got to manage the clock while they're trying to move the ball down the field.
I do want to warn you, though. I do want to warn you, there is one timeout at 2 minutes left.
One of those two-minute timeouts?
Yeah, I just wanted to warn you about that.
Okay. Thing stops when it goes to 2 minutes, right?
Correct,
okay.
Correct. Just warning you that that's coming. Quick throw to the outside. Is that caught? Well, that is a tremendous grab by Omarion Blakes. Stretching out for that one at the 41-yard line to bring up 2nd and 3 after the gain of 7. Trying to get one more play off before that 2-minute timeout. Quick dump off over the middle. Don't really need to get out of bounds here. It's a good idea by Tyron Warren, but you don't have to because there is that final timeout. Although, hold on a second. We do have a flag. And that's once again former Independence Bowl chairman Trey Giglio. The penalty on the far side. I told you, Gary, they could just leave the flag on the field. We've had 20. This is now 21 penalties. Not to mention the ones that have been declined. There have been 20 accepted so far. We had 3 on one play, and they were all offsetting.
We have a receiver downfield, number is covered up. First down.
So basically an illegal formation for Alcorn. So that will officially take us to the 157 timeout. We call that the 157 warning, Gary. That's a completely different thing than the 2-minute timeout. It's a 157 warning. Alcorn, got to work fast.
Bit too much mustard on it. I think he needs to elevate his passes a little bit, get a little more softness to them, and just kind of drop those balls in there, especially the ones on the outside, the longer ones. Those are the ones he's missed on.
That time the Demon pass rush gets there. Down goes Tolbert. Yeah. He had Anakuru from one side and shot like a missile. Guess who? There you see him, Fernando Washington.
I think those two are going to be two huge difference makers. Watch number 19, number 10 come around the outside, 13 on this side, and they meet there at the point. What a lot of fun there with those two guys get some good work in there. Clinton Anakuru and Fernando Washington.
Clock running at 1:15. Throw to the middle is caught. That is not enough for the first down, but a flag will be thrown.
Well,
so this drive will keep going after Jakarian Lathan. A little extracurricular.
Well, they tackled him in the middle of the field, and that was a tackle, but it was a vicious takedown. So I think it's reciprocal. They called one against this Alcorn State earlier in the game. Similar play. This is a physical tackle, and you do this. You don't need to do that. Just pull him to the ground.
Yeah, that's Brock Lesnar, belly-to-back suplex. As you see, the students that are remaining are ready to hit the field at this point.
Yeah, they're trying to edge to that far corner over there, and they're trying to get down.
Close.
There was some word that there's a yellow thing that's in jeopardy here.
Correct. Not a dead ball foul. Right foul. 15 yards, first round.
So the correction that it was a live ball foul. By the way, that is now the 8th penalty against Northwestern State. Between these two teams, 22 penalties for 168 yards. Coming in, this Alcorn team averaged over 9 penalties a game last year. So not far off their average. Demons again rushing 4, and again finding pressure. That pass is going to be caught at the 42-yard line. Amarian Blake's coming down with it.
So Cam
the
George
clock continues to run.
Cam George decided to get into the mix there, rushing the passer inside. They've got a little speed on the field on the outside with Fernando Washington and also Anakuru and Cam George in the middle, and he can create some havoc in there as well.
Washington trying to blitz. They go with the quick slant. That will be caught right at the first down stick, so that will stop the clock, and a late flag comes flying in. There you see at the bottom of the screen, Council and a couple of the offensive linemen, also Fernando Washington in that mix as well. Tolbert wants to get up and snap it.
Number 62 on the offense. We're jumping on a defensive player. 15 penalties on the foul. Second down.
So Jaden Bryant, the right guard, gets called for jumping on a defenseless player. And the students and cheerleaders, dance line, purple pizzazz, everyone is now massing even more in the south end zone.
Well, if you're Cedric Thomas, Alcorn State came in here and they did not take care of business. You know, that's one of the indicators there. Number 62, that penalty there late in the ball game. A little bit of discipline. You need to kind of clean that up. Your guys are trying to fight back to get yardage there, and that's very much unnecessary.
Clock getting set to move under 30 seconds on this play. We mentioned this is one of the youngest teams in America, Northwestern State. 70 freshmen or sophomores. Between freshmen, redshirt freshmen, and sophomores, 70 of them on this team. Tolbert will buy some time. That one is going to be wide of his intended receiver.
And this is incomplete.
Was looking for Jacoby Matthews. And can see the field will likely be stormed in 18 seconds.
Well, it's going to be a little fun here for these students to come to a game and win a ball game here in Turpin Stadium. It hasn't happened in a long, long time.
Well, we'll tell you about that in just a